This is the second and final part of me being abducted for 41 hours. I want to repeat it this way. In the Kenyan law, when somebody is arrested, there are procedures. And if you take those procedures to court, injustice will be done to the complainant. Because one, the arresting officer never identified himself. Even to this time of recording part 2, I do not know his name. It's only that he spoke with an accent, coastal accent, where he either is a Mukamba from Chaani Changamwe or is a Mijikenda. That was injustice done. 2, injustice was done because I was never told what I'm suspected of being done. 3, I was not told who the complainant is. And 4, there are many. And 4, imagine after being arrested, after over 30 hours is when the so-called complainant now made a formal complaint. Officially, a complaint has to be made. Then when the complaint has been made, a file is opened, and when the file is opened, the investigation officer forms an opinion that this one needs to be dealt with or not. But me, it was the other way around. My phone was taken, my iPhone was taken, and they tried to get evidence from my iPhone. So that one is in part 1. It is also covered. You can also get more information on Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy wanted me dead. There was even an attempt to poison me. And then there is also another one where I talked about the Kware fellow, how he was assisted to get out of there, because I stayed there for 41 hours, up to 41 hours. And that is one of the most idle police cells in Kenya, because imagine having 4 people having 4 people. And when you go to a station like a Central Police Station, I think there are so many people. I had a lot of time on me, and even to measure through footsteps the size of each cell and whatever. If you can check on my video, you'll show when I say that a Kware suspect was let loose. He was let loose, and I've already covered that, so you can say there. So after being booked, first of all, after being booked, the first thing was I asked the cell sentry, a man. There were 2 men, but I asked, is this not the cell that the Kware suspect was let loose? No, let me say it in Swahili. Hii si ndio pahali ambapo yule jamaa wa Kware aliachiliwa. Then the cell sentry answered me. I don't know whether it is rudely or harshly, but he said, kwani wewe pia unataka kutoroka? Of course, any further discussion there, you have to be careful. So I left it there. So I was taken to the cells where I found 4 guys. There was 4 guys. There was nobody in the female cell for the duration of my stay there. That is 41 hours. But while being booked in, there was a Murundi lady. There was a Murundi lady whom we talked in Kirundi. We talked in Kirundi. I'm fluent in Kirundi, I'm fluent in Kinyarwanda, and I'm fluent in Lingala. These guys didn't know that didn't know the content of our discussion. Ama niachie hapo, because that particular police station, after talking to the Murundi lady, and after talking to DRC fellows there, there is a lot of things that is happening there, which to my view, I can only discuss with members of NIS. There is a lot of things that I can only discuss with the NIS fellow. So out of the 4 people, that is me, there was a Lebanese fellow. There was a Lebanese fellow, and I've discovered there's a lot of dealings in foreigners in Gigiri police station. Of course, it is in the diplomatic area, But then, anyway, ama niachie hapo. And there were two watchmen. One was a Kalenjin, and another one was Abukusu. The two guards had similar cases. Things stolen when they were guarding the place. Let me say, one of them, the Kalenjin. This is what had happened. He was guarding somewhere. Crooks came. He opened for them. When he opened for them, he went to the other end and they tied him up. When they tied him up, resident noticed some commotion. Police were called. Uh, then by then the crooks had escaped, but he was caught because he was tied up. It was a very simple open and closed file that when the police came, they found that the crooks had tied him up. What he did not know was that the place had CCTV. So the CCTV just showed how he friendly opened and how they went as friends to a corner and they tied him up. Were it not for the CCTV, the Kalenjin would not have been known to have stolen. The Bukusu one, he told me that a theft had occurred in his place of work. A theft had occurred in his place of work, but that thing was solved between the security company and the client. But later on, this Bukusu fellow got a job elsewhere in another security company. So the security company decided to revive the case. You know, the case had been reported to the police but then they didn't follow it up. They didn't follow it up. So when this Bukusu watchman was employed by another security company, uh, they went back to the police station and revived the case. On day 2, that was on Tuesday, he was taken out of the cells in the morning, went out and then came back in the evening. He told me that there were negotiations uh, where he was being told if he still continues with the same security company that he used to work for, then he could be released. And then he had been insisting that the owner of the property also writes a statement. But you see, the security company, there's a way they wanted to use the police to have him not move into another company. Then there was a Lebanese. To pass time, wanted to talk to him. To pass time, I wanted to talk to him. He was hostile. He didn't want to talk to anybody. But he reached a place and asked me if I'm a Catholic. I said I'm a Catholic. Then he wanted me to prove. So I said Hail Mary. Then I said Nasadiki. And then he became very, very friendly. He became very friendly. He told me that he's a Jew by birth, but converted to Catholic. I wanted to know why he was in cells. He told me that the local agents of the American security, that is FBI and CIA, had brought him here and that they were in the process of extraditing him to the USA. What offense? He just looked at me. He did not want us to discuss the kind of offense, but he made it clear that the American security were in the process of having him extradited to the USA. I knew that that was all that I would get. Anything more, he would become very hostile. I spent there 41 hours, but for the next 12 weeks that I used to report twice a week, I used to report there on Mondays and Fridays. For the next 12 weeks that I used to report twice a week, I would make an effort to say hi to him. Both the report office and at the rooftop. There is a way I could go to the report office and tell them, can you call the Lebanese fellow? And he would be called and we would really talk. To me, I took it that I was, you see, meeting somebody when you're in problems, it it uplifts you. My mission was to encourage him. And for the 12 weeks, he used to brighten up. Whenever he saw me, he used to brighten up. He would also warmly wave to my spouse. And on the days that I went without my spouse, he would inquire about her, and he would even say, my, I pass his greetings to him. One day, while on the rooftop, a detective was concerned about the warmth the Lebanese showed, especially to me. He's somebody who didn't want to talk to anybody or anything. And as I said, when I wanted to talk to him, he indicated that he can only talk to Catholics. So there's a day I was talking to him, waving at him from the rooftop. There is a way you can talk to somebody while they are from the rooftop. And a detective was concerned why there was the warmth towards me, especially having spent some time there. I remember the Lebanese used to look forward to my Monday and Friday visits. He used to look forward for those days. I also loved him. I mean, I was very much encouraged by him. I was very much encouraged by him. According to him, I am affable. According to me, he encouraged me. Look at it this way. 7 going to 8 months later, I am still haunted by the 41 hours at Gigiri. Imagine almost a full pregnancy. I'm still haunted by that. Yet he spent 41 weeks. Me, I spent 41 hours, and him, he spent 41 weeks, almost a year. And such a person, when you look at a person with more problems than you, that is when you get encouraged. For the 2 nights I was there, at around midnight Kenyan time, he would be given his phone and he would talk to his wife in Lebanon. For over half an hour, they would really talk in their vernacular. Then he would sleep soundly. Just talking to his wife in Lebanon uh, for that long, half an hour or something, he would come back after handing over the phone. He would really sleep soundly. You would even think he's in a 5-star hotel. Even during the night check, you see, every police have to check people in the cells at night. But I don't know why they did not check the day Jumaisi left. But then that tusiseme hiyo. Even the night rounds, when they were checking on people, they never bothered. They would just let him snore where he's sleeping. Imagine a police cell with 4 people. I remember telling you that detectives were concerned about how warmly he was to me. They wanted to know if there was any information that I had on him. Of course, he had just said that his case with CIA, and he never wanted us to discuss further. That is when I was told that he was the kind of a person who swallows, these people who make drugs and then in the shape of a sausage and swallow. That is when I was told that he was a swallow drug trafficker, and the drug and enforcement agent of the USA was in the process of extraditing him. But before I completed the 12 weeks that I used to go there twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, I remember he was not there towards the end. Maybe he was extradited. I then undertook to make the assessment of how Jumaisi escaped from Gigiri. You can watch the video as I had recorded it. It is one of the records that it is one of the recordings that I had done there to show that Jumaisi was never escaped, even using the routes that whatever. If you look at one of my records. I think it's more than a month old. Uh, it is found there. Back now to my story. Over 12 hours after my booking in Gigiri, that is when my cousin now made a complaint. Over 12 hours after my booking in Gigiri. As I said, usually you go to a police station, make a complaint. It is recorded in the OB. A file is open. When the file is open, then the investigating officer does the investigation, then finds that there is a case, then looks for you. But over 12 hours after my booking in Gigiri, that is when my cousin now made a complaint. They had chocored my iPhone to do whatever, and they had done whatever. I spent another 9 or so hours where, in my opinion, I was supposed to cooperate so that a new lesser charge can be substituted. On Wednesday, 26th March, at around 2 a.m., and I dare say that Safaricom is my witness. You can check, you can verify with Safaricom witness, data. The investigation officer rang my cousin's lover and told him to come, that is on Wednesday, and rewrite his statement, because as things stood then, his statement was very weak. My case was very weak. That was 2 a.m. and I was in the interrogation room. But let me go back a bit. Back a bit. That is 11 hours before that 2 a.m. That was now 3 p.m. At around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, I was in the interrogation room. 60% of what was going on was not within the jurisdiction of the DCI, because DCI is called jinai. Hakuna makosa yote ya jinai ilikuwa hapo. Just before I was offered food at that 3 p.m., and I've talked about it in Miss Piggy, my cousin came and boasted that I had differed with at least 10 members of the family and that she would komesha me. She said, nitamkomesha. She said that to me, to the police officer. Huyu amekosana na watu kumi kwa familia. Mimi nitamkomesha. Now that is what Gigiri DCI were now investigating. Two, remember I had said before, they were even saying that I had stopped my son from a competition that he did not even imagine. A competition that he never participated in. You are being accused by Gigiri DCI for stopping your son from becoming an MCA. When ask anybody from my village, they'll tell you my son has never showed any interest in becoming an MCA. You are being accused of something that is not criminal. And even if it was true, first of all, it did not occur. Just like today, police are arresting you because I say you stopped me from becoming the president of Kenya. You are hearing of what you are supposed to have committed. So, and she said, that is why she said that amekosana na watu 10 kwa familia, sasa mimi ndio nitamkomesha. So it means that Gigiri DCI nowadays, their mandate is now to deal with people wale wanakosana na 10 members of their family. We continue. Imagine writing a statement in the presence of the complainant. Imagine. After she said that, I was being now asked and whatever, and they were writing. It was a way to look for a weak point. Remember, a small point the size of a nail can bring down a ship, isn't it? Then I was given double ugali and double vegetables. I was very hungry and I washed my hand very quickly, and as I was about to eat the ugali, I noticed that it had cabbage. I think that one I've really covered it on issues to do with Miss Piggy wanted to poison me. I was being told, kula au utaona. All this time, my cousin was recording the event. My spouse had come. She had bought two Fanta blackcurrant in pack and chips. When they were telling me lazima ukule, it was like if you know something that is called waterboarding, you can like waterboarding. It was just like that, and I said, "You'd rather shoot me than eat cabbage. How can I eat something that I last ate in 1969?" That is when my spouse now produced two Fanta blackcurrant and chips, and that is when I ate it. That was 3 p.m. And at the very same day, when I was still there, my son, who had claimed, who was supposed to have contested the MCS seat, and he, imagine, in case he had contested, I'd stopped him. Do you report that to the DCI? Okay, that is in case he wanted and you stopped him. But you know, he never contested that. But then DCI was asking me, why did you stop your son from contesting to be an MCA? That was around 3 p.m. on Tuesday. I have screenshots of a WhatsApp or Facebook account where my very same son was telling people on social media how I escaped poisoning. How I escaped poisoning. That I was lucky, and he was even offering people, telling them that he has a video recording of the events. Now the complainant was there. The complainant was listening to what I was being forced to write, a forced statement, to for being forced to eat, and that all those things she was recording and shared it. I don't have proof that she recorded it, but what my estranged son was telling people at home, which I have saved it on a screenshot, is exactly what happened. Now, this is what you have now as a DCI. DCI where somebody is in the interrogation room, the complainant is there listening to what is. It was almost like waterboarding interrogation. It was like waterboarding, and she's recording. Even if she's not recording, but she goes out within an hour, she has already spread out issue of what was happening to me. I thought that as an NIS officer, I thought that DCI officers are restricted area. By restricted, I say that any recording in such offices, any recording in such offices is a crime. That is why when you walk around the military places, you find it is written, recording of anything within these walls constitute an offense. But anyway, you know what I mean. Uh, I think about that you can watch one of my videos, which is called Miss Piggy wanted to poison me. On Wednesday, 26th March, at around 8 a.m., I was removed from Gigiri police cells ostensibly to go to Milimani law courts. Ostensibly to go to Milimani law courts. Instead, I was driven to DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road. Up to, and those who have been to DCI headquarters know that the lab is uko ndani kabisa. I was taken to that place where the lab is. From there, I can only say that the CCTV of Mazingira House between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. can verify. For over 2 hours, I was there. Now, the question I want to ask, and I want to ask any other DCI officer who is not working in Gigiri, why was I taken? Okay, this is a case. My cousin has complained about me. I don't know. They, they were they were looking for anything they were looking for anything to look for me. But I want to ask any DCI officer who is not at Gigiri. I have been arrested on Monday evening. On Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., I am taken to DCI lab. What for? Why should I go to lab? If you look at CCTVs at DCI lab, and if you go to Safaricom, what do you call the phone of these four? If you can look at the phone clocks of these detectives who had been hired by my cousin, you'll find that my phone, my iPhone, was at what do you call Mazingira House on Wednesday between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. at a time when I'm supposed to be in court in Milimani Law Courts. The CCTV from Mazingira House can show me being there that time. I don't want to say what was happening there, but even it is always good to talk about things which can be proven. Somebody get me that CCTV footage of that time between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. I am at Mazingira House. Around 10 a.m., when they were sure that I can convince my son, my other son now, to come with his ATM, that is when we left for Milimani Law Courts. It is at Mazingira House where now negotiations were being done. Unaweza toa chochote ama nini? Yes, naweza toa sijui nini. After an amount was agreed, and after I had talked, yes, Safaricom can verify. I talked to my son with my very same, and I told him, Safaricom can verify that. Can you come with your college, your help ATM? The tracking is easy through the CCTV because from Mazingira House all the way to all the way to Milimani Law Courts can be shown through Safaricom logs. At Milimani Law Courts, a substantial amount was withdrawn from my son's help. CCTV for Milimani and the ATM. You know, my son withdrew the money from an ATM. It can verify me. And CCTV from Milimani and the ATM can show where I come and I'm taken to another corner. The CCTV are there. Unless you are telling me Milimani is not covered in CCTV. From there, we discuss my son and his wife. My son and my wife. My son and my wife come. We talk, the four of us. Then one of the detectives can be seen from the CCTV pinpointing where there is an ATM. My son goes there. You can see from the ATM. You can see from the ATM of the of the Equity Bank, my son withdrawing a substantial amount. You can even see from the CCTV my son handing over that money to those police officers. That thing, I dare them produce that CCTV because I know where I was at what time. Even after taking the substantial amount from my son's help account, the CCTV at Milimani and Magereza House can be seen, whereby I am being led to a kiosk nearby. I am being led to a kiosk nearby, and I'm told to pay for their lunch. And if you check that kiosk, which is between Milimani Law Courts and Magereza House, and the CCTVs along the road, you can see me being taken to that place, compelled to buy lunch for them, worth over 2,000 shillings. It can be proven by the CCTVs from Milimani and even Magereza House, and even that kiosk. It can be proven that at that time, when my phone was supposed to be with the DCI investigating it to see if I've misused the phone at that time was buying food at a kiosk there through till number. That was around 11 to 11:30. You can check with the M-Pesa. You can see that at 11 to 11:30, that was my M-Pesa had to pay for their food. I was taken back to Gigiri, where I was given a police cash bail, but told to be reporting to Gigiri twice a week. The police cash bail serial number is 193,595,4. That is the serial number of the cash bail. Of course, the cash bail I was later refunded. Now I have reported this thing to 3 officers. This same means I have reported to IPOA, Upper Hill. I have reported to DCI. I've reported to 4 people. I have reported to IPOA. I have reported to anti-corruption. I have reported to regional DCI. I have reported to regional police headquarters. But you see, all these 4 officers, apart from anti-corruption, the other 3, you now look at the case of where I'm told, rush. Now this is the provincial police officer. I'm told to rush to Gigiri and write a statement with the deputy OCS in the next 12 hours. If I don't do it, the case will itameza maji. I rush there as quickly as I can. Now it is 12 weeks later. No communication has been made to me. You know, there are communication which is supposed to be made to me. There are 3. 1, I should be told the case is going on. 2, I can be told the case has no basis. 3, this is the action we are taking against the police. They have just kept quiet. Now you find that with the DCI, and I reported to the DCI, they acknowledged they received the letter, because when I gave them, I had my copy, I remained with the copy. They have never communicated with me. Anytime I go to IPOA, they just tell me, okay, I've been there 3 times, and I'm told there are 2 ladies, Kalenjin ladies, who are dealing with the case. On that particular day, they are not there. God bless Kenya. There is a song that they used to say, system ya majambas. Now, there is something that I'm being told, chini ya maji, that I should be understanding to the OCS rerouter, to the detective affected and whatever, because if I continue the case, they may lose their job. Just that. Spoiled my life, I'm still haunted. Spoiled my iPhone, doing everything to them. I have just to swallow the bitter saliva and move on. That is Kenya for you. That is all I have to say for now.